For final exam review number 1 for second semester, number 1 says find the solution to the linear system. So there are 3 methods that we learn to solve systems: graphing, elimination, and substitution. Elimination is the best method to use here because you have opposites. A 1 and a negative 1 make 0. So they cancel out. And then we're going to add or subtract straight down. So this is a positive 4 and a positive 1. That makes 5x. 2 minus 17 is negative 15. Then to get x by itself, I divide by 5, and x is negative 3. So now I know my x value, but when you're solving for a linear system, you have to have x and y. So now I take that number and I plug it into one of these equations. We're going to go with the top equation because it has all positive numbers. So if I plug the negative 3 in for x, we get 4 times negative 3 plus y equals 2. Then we have negative 12 plus y equals 2. We add 12, and y is 14. Okay, in number 2, this is another problem dealing with linear systems that we have discussed in Unit 5. It says that Mary sold 350 tickets for a school play. The student tickets cost $3 and the adult tickets cost $5. Mary's sales totaled $1,534. The first step is to write your 2 equations, known as the system of equations, that would be used to determine how many of each ticket Mary sold. So first, we're going to look at tickets. So we sold tickets to the students, S, the adults, A, and the total amount of tickets sold were 350. Secondly, we're going to look at the money aspect. So we know that it was $3 for the student to go. It cost $5 for the adult. And then lastly, the total amount of sales or money was $1,534. If I want to cancel out the students, I'm going to have to multiply by 3, which is, or the opposite of 3, which is negative 3. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by negative 3. And when I do that, I need to distribute that negative 3 to every single term in the top. So this gives me negative 3s, negative 3a, and then 350 times negative 3 is negative 1,050. The second equation I just rewrite. So now to eliminate, I would cross out my s's, and then I would solve this part. So 5a minus 3a is 2a. If I subtract the negative 1050 and the 1534, I get 484. Now, to get the a by itself, I divide by 2. So if I divide 484 by 2, I get 242. That means that the adult tickets were 242 of them. To find the student tickets, I take the amount of tickets sold, which was the 350. I subtract the 242, and I receive 108. So this is my S, my students. If I add these two numbers together, I should get back to 350. Okay, and I would if I add them together. Okay, number 3 says perform the indicated operation. So in this problem, it's a subtraction problem because of the minus sign right here. The first set of parentheses would stay the same. I would not change the signs at all. But in the second set of parentheses, there's like a -1 here. And if you distribute that, it changes the signs of every term. So this becomes a -3, a positive 4x squared, and a positive 5. Now, when we write it in standard form, we go with the biggest exponent first. So 7 minus 3 is 4x to the third. 6x squared and 4x squared is 10x squared. And then 8 plus 5 is 13. And number 4 says use the radical of the square root of 88. Describe how to simplify the radical. And then you also have to simplify it. So first I'm going to simplify the radical. I'm going to take 88 and break it down to 8 and 11. 8 breaks down to 2 and 4, and then 2 and 2. So I have 3 2's and an 11. I have one pair of 2, and then the leftovers get multiplied and put back inside the radical, so that would become 22. And it asked me to describe what I did, or how I would simplify it. So first I would say, I would make a factor tree. 2, I would find my pairs. And 3, I would put my numbers in and around the radical.